Oh, yes. As if this isn't some dystopian shit. 69 definitely has a great point, Dan. He does. This recording, right? Okay, so far it is. Dan, you're your best. Oh, yeah. And Grucher barks. No wonder you got negative 25 upvotes. The same thing would happen if a woman's shirt ripped open or a man's pants came down and his junk was out. What this has to do with basically religion or Islam. And by Sopa, Pia, Konkoka, Batrol, and SMD 1978. Sorry, I had to do all this by memory here. 10 countries where apostasy is theoretically punishable by death. Mauritania is in West Africa. I'm like half asleep here. Saudi Arabia, Yemen, the UAE, Qatar, the Maldives, basically throughout the Middle East, kinda, except for Iraq, Iran, Afghanistan, Brunei, and for some odd reason, Malaysia. I'm surprised Indonesia's on here. But Malaysia, though, even though there's not as many Muslims? Anywho, this was posted on Made Me Smile, right? It should be Made Me Concerned. That I looked up today. And by the way, it's 9:55 in the morning. Let's see, the 19th of October. And it's on a Sunday. And yeah, I'm basically 73.69% sleepy right now because I just couldn't sleep and I'm going through a lot of stress at the moment here. And please pardon me for the awful audio. I'm poor and literally I was getting a little bit frustrated because my MacBook keeps freezing. I can't. If it's not enough, please just go away to another channel that may have better editing skills or, okay, if you don't support people that are less fortunate, then you're not allowed to be here. I'm sorry. Anywho, I didn't know that this was from 5 years ago, or technically I think it was 6 years ago, or well, it's 5 years ago in a Google search of basically who cannot be named, and I think it's for the best. Okay, this Muslim woman, or this female Muslim soccer player. Hope that's appropriate. Okay, that is wearing a number 16 jersey. Now, I'm not sure if it has her name. I don't think it has her name. Even if her name has been identified, just please don't share it. Okay, I think that'd be for the best. She basically had to, that you seen in the beginning of this, and I will be sure this for anyone that's been viewing my TikTok as of lately. Okay, I'll explain that near the end of the video. She basically is feeling shamed or guilty because of how her hijab, which is basically a head cloth that women would use to cover themselves from being seen in a sexual way towards other men. Well, the men, so for the Islamic men that do this, you're beyond evil for it. Okay? I'm saying for the one that likes to control women like this, you wonder why. It's kind of, I'll explain that shortly. Okay, I'm a little irritated of Islam sometimes. These amazing girls, okay, rushing to her aid just to surround her for her privacy. Because, again, she cannot reveal her hair or anything. Okay, because that is supposed to be against Islamic morals, I believe. Because, sadly, the reason why women dress like this, especially in Afghanistan, for example, or even Yemen, let's just say the more stricter religious or Islamic countries, right? Men basically see that as sexual for some reason. I just say this for my men out there, you're kind of being sexual when you stretch and you show your abs and getting a bulge. I'm sorry. You basically want to sexualize women? Well, hey, how would you like if I was sexualized you, right? You know, I am not into sex. If people just say, Dion, why you don't like sex? I'm a spade. I'm atheist and questioning, and that makes sense. Okay, at least I don't basically see someone as a sexual object. But to say, Dion, you should like sex. You should be registered as a sex offender if you say that. Okay, I think sex is me. Yeah, I want to go. What's important is how, in this religion, right, in some countries, women get mistreated like this. I even have a viewer that lives in Massachusetts. He's a firefighter and a father from Boston named Brian. And Brian, I am so sorry that you have to basically see something like this because I wanted to share this since I know this would be important for you since you're a Muslim. Also, for my viewer Lucas is here at the moment. He's from Saudi Arabia. I thought he would be touched by this as well. Because voila! Okay, like come on now. For people that basically thinking that, yes, every darn human being, even for the atheists and agnostics, okay, can be pretty bad. It doesn't matter what religion or non-belief that you have. Okay, the same way for your skin pigment. It doesn't matter because I said so. Sorry, I sound harsh. It doesn't matter because why should it matter, right? And if I could basically just read some more on the Google search, and yes, I got over 30 tabs open. I like to multitask. I can't help it. Okay? Basically, if you type in soccer player hijab falls off, this was from years ago on the ABC television stations. I think it got blocked here in the US. It's basically in the description, opponents huddle around soccer player after hijab came loose during match. And yes, she's from Jordan, right? And they had the team name on it, but I'm just too exhausted to look. Okay, I did, but again, I'm so tired, and I just couldn't sleep because I was thinking some video ideas, and I feel that I'm not allowed to rest yet because this channel hasn't taken off yet. Okay, but the other channels, they can rest, but I can't because, well, this MacBook. It's just me out. Sorry. And this is from the me Googling on the AI overview, or this popped up, right? If a hijab comes off, the most immediate result is that the woman's hair and neck are exposed. But what happens next depends on the circumstances, which this is pretty accurate so far. If it happens accidentally, the woman should stay calm and cover up again ASAP to maintain modesty, which is considered a personal or religious value. Now, if it was taken off without her permission, it is considered an act of assault. I didn't know that. And her reaction would depend on her personal beliefs. That makes total sense. So I know I sound like I'm plagiarizing. I try not to because I learned back in middle and high school, okay? But I have to. If other YouTubers can do that, read word by word, I like to add extra words, then so be it. Basically, the immediate actions is to cover up. If it was by an accident, the most important thing to do is to cover up again immediately, right? And then you'll stay calm. You do not panic to avoid embarrassment, and then seek forgiveness. Which is... She doesn't deserve to be treated like this. Okay, if you feel you have sinned, you can seek forgiveness from Allah. Do prayer and repentance, right? Allah means God in Arabic, if I recall. Okay, and for my Muslims, I hope you're not offended for this. Screw Muhammad, because that's true. Okay, that he married a 9-year-old. So I've heard. Okay, because that's what's been going on in Afghanistan. Not to mention, I do not like the darn Taliban. Not to mention, they just had to change the flag. They could go to hell for that. Okay, I like the previous Afghan flag. I even have it designed, by the way. Okay, I'm just going to just read one other thing on here. Public exposure. If a woman is in a public place, it is recommended to avoid panicking because the woman should cover herself up ASAP to... Oh, yeah. Okay, so this is a repeat of it, right? Because, again, it's considered sacred. And I just say this for my Muslims out there, right? I can relate when it comes to being covered up. I don't even like to show any skin. And another thing, I know this seems silly. When I was younger, I never liked to go to the swimming pool without a shirt off. I don't like to show any skin. I don't know why. Like, let's just say if a guy was stretched, for example, right? Or if you be bending down, I may see a little bit of his skin. I would see that sexual. Well, not literally, but I would find it attractive. Maybe it's because it shows how buff or big he is, right? And I just want to share this as an example because people like to over-sexualize women. Well, you know what? I'm just going to add this example, okay, to over-sexualize men and see how they feel. Because that's what you're basically doing towards these women. I don't get it. I don't understand it. And basically, reading some of those comments on Reddit, it cannot be more accurate because Muslim, right, or Islam, Muslim is supposed to be the person that practices Islam, right? That's what they're called. Islam is the religion. Muslim is the person that practices Islam, if I recall. Okay? This is supposed to be the religion of peace, but what I've seen growing up, especially 9/11, is the religion of terrorism. Well, for Al-Qaeda and the Taliban. But for Muslims themselves, that are not involved in this, okay? They should be viewed that way. Same way for Jews. Even though I know Israel and Palestine have their faults. You'd be surprised. However, I still have a little soft side too. Okay, I really do. Because I remember seeing a clip of 9/11 that some Palestinians were celebrating at the Twin Towers. Like, you're not Muslim, you're monsters for that. Okay, again, I love both countries, but the thing is, Palestine has less. That's why I'm more sympathetic towards Palestinians and Israelis. Again, this is in Israel, not Jews, here in the U.S. or outside of that. But in Israel, I'm sorry. You wonder why your country's not loved at the moment. I'm sorry. Okay, but yes, both are at fault. It's just that Israel is more at fault than Palestine, of course. Right? So I thought this was interesting to talk about this because I just don't get why that in the Islamic law that women are treated like this, especially in Iran before that dumb revolution that they had. Whoever the one that started it, damn, you forgot the name, right? Sure. Well, I don't remember his name, but the law that was invented, Sharia law. Because Iran, let's just say before 1979, I've heard that's when it took place. You have women they look like they're be Americans. Okay, people dressing all freely, groovy and whatnot. That's like, I'm surprised Iran used to be like that, but especially what you've, like in the past, couple years of how Iranian women would get kidnapped or get killed because they don't want to wear a hijab or don't feel comfortable. That's barbaric. Yeah, let's just say for women out here in the U.S., for example, they like to over-sexualize themselves and do, no offense, okay? There's something, well, like if you do OnlyFans, just don't be surprised where you'll get treated later on. And I don't know, okay? I'm not really into that stuff. I don't care. I seriously don't. But seeing something like this for these girls to just, and they're supposed to be the opponent, right? Basically the rival of this Jordan team, this football team, right? They're such sweethearts because they care so much for her. I hope she's doing well to this day. And I can see why that she doesn't want to be exposed because I guess it is against Islamic more. I don't see it that way. It's just accidents happen. She's a human being. She shouldn't be stoned to death or whipped, whatever you could think of. Whatever your book would tell you. Oh, so basically what? If this is true, like again, with Muhammad, that it's okay to marry a child, right? How? I don't get it. I don't. That's not... I need to go in detail, okay? And I want to go there. I already did it on my live streams, okay? But I wanted to share this because I have so much respect for Muslims out there. A couple of my viewers are Muslim. Brian, Paul, and even another one, she has a bit on the stream. Joan, that's also from Indonesia. Then Lucas as well. 4 of them are Muslim. Or, okay, well, at least 2 of them, 3 of them, pardon me. Lucas, though, he's an atheist, but he's from Saudi Arabia. I think that's correct, yes. You wouldn't kill him, right? He's not doing anything. I wanted to share the touching, concerning video, and I knew this was from 5 years ago, and yes, I wanted to put a slow motion so that you could see everything that was going on, and I hope this me just doing an audio of it, because again, this is all I can do right now. I'm exhausted, okay? I can only do so much while other YouTubers have really cool backgrounds, great mics or whatever. I can't afford that. If that makes you less of a YouTuber, then so be it, okay? At least I care for other people's well-beings, or at least I do my best to, and basically, beliefs. I just wanted to share this, especially since I did have some Indonesians in the past to view my TikTok, right? That means a lot. Also, I just noticed I'm too lazy to share the screenshots that I'm getting a handful of viewers from Thailand. They probably didn't watch my videos all the way through, but I'm thinking like, what? Why in Bangkok? That's awesome. So, for the ones that may be seeing us on TikTok, right? But I think because I think I put the hashtag Buddhist. I don't know, but. I'm sorry, I'm so tired. I'm 80% sleepy, I think, at this point. Because I couldn't sleep in, pardon me. I just thought I could get this out of my system. I definitely need to start live streaming again. But I just want to spread a message here that, yes, there are Muslims, the same as any other religion. But to see something like this, though, it really upsets me a lot that this is how women that do practice Islam are mistreated. The funny thing is, in Indonesia, it's not like this, especially the protests, because I see both boys and girls, right, protesting. However, though, in the Middle East, that wouldn't happen. I'm thinking, why can't other Middle Eastern countries be Indonesia? Yes, they have their own problems with their own, but at least it's not that far back in time compared to Jordan and Buddha forbid. I'm trying to think about a country that's really bad. Yemen. Okay, I'm trying to, because I would say Afghanistan, but Afghanistan's not Middle Eastern, but I want to consider them. Okay, and I've always wanted to visit some of those Middle Eastern countries because I thought they were interesting, especially Egypt. Okay, honestly, it's horrible. I just had to say, like, this is how people are treated, especially that are female. This needs to stop or decrease. Okay, literally. Again, as someone that doesn't like to show any skin or anything, that likes to keep himself covered, I can relate to this. From a male perspective, absolutely. And yes, may I be honest? I thought it's hot when a guy stretch and I see their stomach, right? I'm thinking it's especially with my trauma. Yes, I have a fetish of that. Okay, I'm thinking like, wow, like is he getting naked or something? Yes, like seeing skin. Don't trust me. I could balance myself. Absolutely. Okay. Again, sex kind of grosses me out. I would never want to have sex. No, with no one. No. Okay, yuck. So, this is something I just wanted to share, okay? Because it's really heartbreaking that this is still going on in 1/4 of the 21st century. This needs to decrease. Especially after one more thing I want to share that was happening in Portugal, right? Of how they have this law, which I do like, however, though. Again, just because someone's Muslim doesn't mean they're an evil person. And I want my Muslims to know this, right? Because in Europe, they are, especially, the reason why I wanted to share this as a bonus, okay? The reason why that a lot of Europeans, depending on the country that they originate, they are against Muslims because there are Muslims that would sexually harass or assault Europeans of that country, including women as well, and basically trying to change their beliefs. That's not okay. It'd be the same thing with this kind of. I would be really offended and uncomfortable if a hardcore Christian tells me, hey, you need to go to church and pray to God. You can do that. I'm not interested. If people want to know why the Christian population is increasing, right? There's nothing wrong with religion. However, though, once you push it on others, I think it should be considered grooming at that point because you could have brainwashing them. Not to mention people in the gay community ending up killing themselves because they feel that they're monsters. And by the way, I want to share this as someone that I knew some Christians in the past. Let's just say they want to take advantage of me, well, almost sexually. And you call yourself holy. You're dirty, actually, not holy. God doesn't want that, doesn't he? No. Okay? It's like what Chris from Family Guy would say when his grandfather visited the family, of how he would punish his grandson for masturbating in the bathroom. And Chris would say, God is a pervert. Yes, he is then. Because, oh, it's a natural human function. Not to mention it helps stress. But, oh, you cannot masturbate. Is this why so many people would just rape or... Wow. I didn't ask for this. I didn't sign up for this. It's supposed to happen to me. But besides that, I need to just get this out of my system. And I hope that Jordan girl wearing a 16 jersey is doing okay. Also, as a bonus, I just had to be honest for anyone that loves soccer, right? I'm not a fan of actual speed. This would be a little bit random. Like, good for him. Yeah, I guess you could say I'm jealous because he met, the end is supposed to be Messi, right? I think. Oh no, I'm sorry. It's Ronaldo. I get them mixed up, right? Because of how he met him. Like, that's great and all. I don't know. I'm sorry. Not to mention what happened with FIFA being sold by Saudi Arabia. I want to talk about that, but I'm sorry. I had to add that as a bonus because it's the same. Like, I don't see Muslims as monsters unless they act upon it towards women or vice versa or anything like that, right? You're not Muslim. You should be taking advantage of anyone like that in the like in person or something. I don't know, okay? But the reason I had to say I so speed because he's a black stereotype. I'm sorry. I know he went through a lot. So do other people. I just think he's really irritating. Okay, I don't like seeing his face. I can be honest. I don't like him. I had to get that out of my system because I would love to visit other countries, and I wanted to give people an example. Right? If you like him, that's fine. Just don't be surprised that I won't get along with you, whomever you may be. I'm not a fan. I'm sorry. Not to mention of him going to that poor woman's house in New Mexico and, having his young teen fans. And I'm thinking that poor woman. She doesn't need her privacy invaded. The same way that this Jordan female soccer player that wants to keep her job covered and those girls being such heroes or heroines, giving her that privacy because it may seem like a big deal, or pardon me, it may not seem like a big deal, but of her country's origin, it is. It is a big deal. Same way for people that tell me, Dion, why do you like sex? I just don't. I don't need to explain it to you any further on that. You like sex? That's fine. It's like you're telling me that why don't I drink? Well, I can explain about that one. I don't want to kill my liver, and I don't like the smell of alcohol. The same way that I don't like the smell of sex, I guess. If you like it, fine. It's not a function. I mean, it's not a need. It's a want. Also, I'm just watching P. Jiggles ranking about all 153 characters and concepts of Market Rod. I'm not gonna play this for 10 seconds. My throat's killing me. I'm getting tired.
You see how it just stands there and doesn't even hold the wheel at all? But nowadays, I think it's more funny than anything. And I guess it's accurate to the character, too. Not much more to say other than that, but cool addition. G tier. Cheap Cheap is also a very funny addition.
Okay, he was talking about that little crap for the Mario Brothers. I'm a Mario fan. Cheap Cheap, though. I always wonder why Cheap Cheap is playable. Yeah, who cares? Anyway, I just had to get this out of my system. And for my Arab and Muslim... Okay, I want to say this first in Arabic. Shukran. Wal assalamu alaikum. For my Arabic speakers. Dan Tramak Hasilaki. For my Bahasha and Genesian speakers. I thank you so much for this. And I hope the Buddha this may do well on TikTok, even though it probably doesn't. TikTok, pardon me. And I'm going to try to rest if I can. Because I'm going through a lot of stress of my own right now. Not to mention my airbag keep being flat. So, yeah, I'm not really in a good mental mood. I'm miserable, kind of. I guess you could say financially stressed. I don't know, I'm going to pass out. Oh.